Hello and welcome, fellow gaming fans. This is Small Archangel and welcome back to my creative zone. Although actually, technically speaking, this isn't my creative zone because my creative zone I made pre-alpha 13.6, which means that unfortunately it's got some slight issues with terrain generation right now, and so I've been more and more doing my experimenting in newer save games. So this is actually a genuine save game. You can see the odd Z wandering around here or there. So I haven't got my Z spawns on very high because I've been being creative and doing my playing around type thing. So I just thought I would show you. It's been ages since I did a video on base build, so I thought I would show you this this new one that I have done, which is based on a design I've been wanting to try for absolutely ages. Look, there's a zombie right now. Yes. There we go. She's down. Oh, there's another one over here as well. There we go. And you can already see my base somewhere in the distance here. This base represents about nearly 140 days worth of in-game creativity and yeah, industry basically. So I built, I didn't build all of it, as I say, in sort of, I did some of it in creative mode. Certainly the upgrading to concrete I did in creative mode. You can see, if you could read it, it says day 7. That is kind of misleading because having built this thing, I decided then I was going to sort of genuinely sort of play with it. I just wanted the hordes back because by day 137, there ain't no hordes anymore. They've disappeared. They've bugged out. So I wanted them back. So I basically reset the clock, being the cheat that I am. Alright, so you can see how huge this structure is. I've counted, I think it's about 20 blocks high. So it's 20 blocks off the ground, which means that the zombies can very much sense you. They know you're there, but they can't get to you, which is great. And the other thing is, because there's a profusion of pillars holding the thing up, that means that... Oh, bird's nest. Oh, it's empty. That means that they don't know what to hit, really. Basically, they're interested in you right above them, and you can see I've got my killing floor here, which I'm very fond of. Big piles of spikes, and then sort of iron bars above, and then there's iron bars all around the outside as well. It did occur to me I might sort of put murder holes in here and there as well, but I didn't do that in the end. I just made the big one in the middle, which means that come Horde night, I know what to do. It took a little bit of experimentation, or rather failing, to work out exactly how many pillars were needed to maintain structural integrity, and I've got some sort of fairly thin pillars in the middle here, simply because the middle would fall out of that platform above me had I not placed that there. And as I say, I wanted as much space down here as was possible, really, because I didn't want the zombies to be, you know, I like them to hit air. I like them to hit, you know, absolutely nothing whatsoever, if at all possible. So I guess the question is, how do you get in here? Now, it's not obvious how we go about that, and that's the way I like it. A favourite of tactic of mine when building bases is to ensure that the entrance to the base is actually nowhere near the base itself, because the base itself is obviously an area that generates heat and zombie interest, so the best thing you can do is have an entrance that's quite far away. So we're going to go and find the entrance now, and I decided the best way of being able to find this entrance myself was placing it by the side of the road. So that's what I've done. So you can see I've got a little garage type structure down here, and this is basically the entrance to my base. It's also where I'll put a mini bike once I've got a mini bike to put in here and store. You can see I'm keeping a few parts in here, at least I'm planning on when I find some, but so far, oh yeah, I found the odd ones, but I haven't actually put them away yet. There you go. And then we've got a vault hatch here, which I haven't properly upgraded yet, and which I sometimes forget to close behind me, which is a bit of a fail. Now this is a depth of about, I don't know, I did count, I think it was at least 35 blocks. It's about about 40 blocks down, which is just my safety limit, I suppose, for remaining undetected, so that while I'm going between my base and the outside world, I'm not going to be, you know, sort of attracting the attention of hordes. And the corridor is quite long, with a dog leg in it as well. And we have vault doors at either end of it too. And then we've got an even longer climb up this side. Because this time we're not only going up the 35, 40 blocks from underground, we're going above ground as well. So this goes all the way down into the ground, and that is, yeah, that is basically my sort of, it would be my lift shaft if lifts were in the game, but they are not in the game, so just my stairwell. And then from here you can see we've got another vault hatch, added security. That's more a psychological thing, because by the time the zombies get to battering on that, you're in trouble basically. Your designers are already failed. So we've got some kind of ramparts which basically go more or less all the way around the outside here, with gateways leading back into my base, and 2 layers of iron bars, which mean that we can very easily sort of shoot downwards without having to worry too much about falling down. And then through here we've got my farm over here, which as you can see is growing great guns. I've actually yeah, the corn, I think the corn can actually get higher than that. I think it can get higher than that, but it does take a long time. And I've deliberately not picked that yet because because it looks pretty cool and it demonstrates what we're doing here as well. It's a nice organised farm, and it's been quite a long time since I've grown a rooftop garden, but there we go. Everything's rooftop here. Then I've got my forging area here with 3 forges in a row, so that I could use one to you can see I've got stone smelting in that one. I've got stone in that one as well. I've probably got stone in all of them because, quite honestly, the amount of concrete that I needed in this joint was crazy. But also I've smelted metal down in them as well. And then I've got my storage area here. And the idea of these kind of weird sort of open but closed off shelters is just that just to make sure, and I'm fairly sure that the cops couldn't stay up to here and sort of damage my storage, but I wasn't taking any chances whatsoever. So I've got this kind of 1 level high sort of concrete wall, and then just because I wanted the views, I've just used iron bars to finish the thing off. So the whole thing looks quite sort of industrial. And then you can see the long drop down at the party zone there, where the hordes will attack. And I've got my fires in the middle, and then my fully upgraded iron spikes all the way around the outside. And then we have the living area, and this is the bit that I really use creative for, because there's lots of blocks here, which I love to use in game because they look great, I think. But you cannot make them. You cannot make them at all, I think. I've said before that, in my opinion, every block in the game should be, you know, craftable. Maybe they will be eventually, but for the moment they're not. So we've got 2 separate buildings here, just because I liked the sort of the Italian design of having this kind of, you know, sort of walkway in the middle. It's just nice and symmetrical with a garden at one end and the entrance base the other. And then in here we've got my sort of kitchen area. I've even got a beverage cooler to put my beer in, just, you know. And then these cabinets, actually we can make the cabinets now. We can't make the oven, but we can make the top and the bottom of the fridge now. And of course we can make this table. So I made all of the blocks that I could, but you cannot make these tiles, for example. And I love those tiles. They actually look pretty neat. They don't look sort of shambolic and trashed. And again, they add to the Italian feel. And I really, really want to be able to make this block with the bear skin. Oh, come on, we've got bears in game. We really need to be able to make ourselves a bearskin rug out of those beasts. And of course, the business glass, which is the glass that I've used here, is something that's not makeable either. And I like to have nice sort of glass ceilings as well, so it's all really, really light in here. I've just got a couple of candles for additional light, but other than that, it's pretty bright just with the windows we've got and the glass ceilings there as well. And then over here we have my bed area. Now we can make this bed now, which looks rather better than the one we've had before, and it's not in 4 annoying sections that you inevitably accidentally put in the wrong order, like a little mini puzzle. So I've made this bed as well. Again, I've made everything in here that I could actually make, but we cannot make medicine cabinets either. I've made these, these cabinet tops. I don't think you can make the cabinet tops. I don't honestly remember. I've actually had this, as I say, I've been building this for quite a long time. And so I just thought I'd add it to my creative list. We've got a potted plants there as well. And of course we can't make this carpet block either, but I quite like it for a bedroom space. Got my bookcases as well, because if I find any spare recipes, given they always come in a block or two. And then the candles. Well, table candles that you could put on top of things instead of attaching to the wall. I love the look of them. And again, I wish you could make them, but you cannot. And then these doors, which actually look halfway civilized, can't make them. So crafting menu, the only option really. And actually it looks too bright in here. I've got just the one window, and I've got my sink, which again, we cannot craft the sink or the toilets, but I do like my civilized touches. And then we've got a bath here, and given the state of water currently, I don't think there's not much point in filling the bath, simply because if you do, well, what are you gaining really? I don't think you gain very much at the moment from trying to farm your water like that. So there we go. That is my base. It's taken me a very, very long time to build. And I'm hoping that tonight I will get the opportunity of testing it out against the zombie hordes, to see how it fares, see how the design holds up. It's that time of night on day 7. Now we know what that means. I've lit the fires. We're expecting fireworks, but they're not here yet. Oh, we are hunted, so they're coming from some direction or other. This is where we get to test this new base. There they are. Dawn of day 8. Look at the devastation. Yep. That is one big pile of zombie corpses. And my fires are still burning. And there's still a few latecomers showing up. But that is actually a pretty good result. Yeah, they've trashed a fair few spikes, but I did manage to get enough shots in that I leveled a fair few times during the night. The wasps, of course, I haven't got much in the way of cover from the wasps, so they tend to find me when I'm up there. But apart from trashing a few spikes, the fires are still there intact. I need to go over there and turn them off, and the only way of really doing that... Uh-oh. Can it, sister? The only way of really doing that is to get some frames over there. And we've got minimal damage to the walls or the structure. And of course, none of them managed to reach up the superstructure at all. The spiders did, but a few ups and downs and they were dead on the spikes, which is fantastic. And the other thing is that they didn't actually do any swipe damage while they were up there. So as far as avoiding the zombies hitting the walls goes, this works pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised if a bit of structural damage over there was actually caused by me, myself. Of course, there's no way of really looting the zombies until you can shoot the ones after dawn outside of the base. So it's not a perfect design, but all in all, I think it's pretty effective. So there we have it. Demonstration complete. And we've just got a few stragglers still showing up. But otherwise, a pretty successful night's work. I will have to continue testing for the later hordes to see how the base fares against the specialized zombies, such as the spitters. But against this lot, no sweat. Screamers, oh no screamers. And boy did we get some screamers. There we go. All gone, and I've left one of my fires burning. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if the damage to the floor down there was actually done by yours truly. So, I guess now I can reap what I sow. I can take the crops from my garden and prepare for the next feral horde. In the meantime, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you like my base. Please do let me know what you think about it. It's not the most epically huge uber base known to man. I don't tend to build those. I like to make ones which are sort of genuinely vaguely possible. As I say, this one took a whole heap of work and needed creative mode to finish it off before Alpha 14 releases. And at the moment, of course, we have no gore blocks, which means that the spikes down there are rather weaker than they would otherwise be, but also means that there's no gore blocks piling up, which obviously is going to have an effect. But that's kind of the idea with the fires, because presumably they will still continue to work even when there's gore blocks on top of them, or maybe they will, but I don't know. That we will have to wait and see. But for now, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know if you liked it. Hit the like button. Leave me any comments you like in the comments boxes as well. And check out what else I've got in my creative zone. There's a fair few videos in here now, although I will be adding more. If you haven't subscribed already, do check out what else I've got on my channel and think about hitting that subscribe button. And until I see you guys in the next video, whatever that might be, keep gaming, keep surviving, and stay happy. Bye-bye for now.